Hello everyone, welcome to my bold and beautiful Gossip Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Finn starts to address whether the incomprehensible is conceivable. In Elder's space, Finn and Minister proceeded with their discussion. Finn said Steffi would be upset to realize he was in any event, examining it. Elder couldn't have cared less in the event that Steffi thought he was insane. He expressed that it was colossal on the grounds that Steffi hadn't cut Sheila that evening. Finn contemplated that Minister had been rambling of insane things. The energized Elder said he realized Lauren's tale about sugar sounded fantastical. Finn declared that it sounded incomprehensible. Elder hadn't trusted it from the start either, yet he swore that it was valid. Minister requested that Finn listen to him, and Elder made sense of everything Lauren had said to him about the plastic medical procedure. Finn jeered, saying Sheila had cloned herself. Elder answered that Sheila had requested an adequate number of changes to take care of sugar for Sheila's wrongdoings. "You might be simple," Finn expressed. Elder intruded, continuing that it was the main clarification for the 10 toes. For Finn, it was the most ludicrous story he'd heard. Elder battled that it had worked out, and Sheila was surprisingly of a virtuoso. Finn asked how Minister realized that Lauren wasn't screwing with him. Elder answered that one couldn't make it up assuming one attempted. He further made sense of that sugar had pursued Lauren's child, acting like Sheila, for retribution on Sheila. Lauren had sorted it out in light of the fact that Sheila could never hurt Scotty. Sugar had admitted to it after her fingerprints had parted with her. Minister added that Sugar had been delivered and had some way or another injury up in Finn's home, cut by Steffi, yet before that, Sugar had done something to Sheila. Elder showed Finn an image of Sugar's facial recreation, and Finn inquired as to whether he knew about photograph altering. Minister demanded that he wasn't lying, and Lauren, who loathed Sheila, hadn't been lying, by the same token. Minister continued accepting that he'd seen Sugar and her 10 toes at the crematorium, not Sheila. It was past the domain of Finn's comprehension. He conceded that it had been difficult to let Sheila go, yet the association he'd never perceived had finished. "Be that as it may, presently you're letting me know I have another opportunity with the one who brought me into this world?" Finn inquired. Minister insisted it and shouted that they needed to promptly track down Sheila. At the Precipice House, Trust and Steffi accepted that everybody was feeling much better that Sheila was gone from their lives. Steffi barred Elder from that rundown, and Trust said Finn could likewise be a special case. Steffi expressed that Finn had begun to mend and give up, and she was thankful that Sheila was presently not a danger. Steffi said Minister expected to acknowledge Sheila's passing. Trust answered that where it counts, he trusted it. Trust felt awful for her dad and was stressed over him. Steffi didn't have the foggiest idea how anybody could adore somebody like Sheila. Trust trusted they could simply continue on. Steffi didn't figure they could with the manner in which Minister was acting. Trust said Elder was all the while handling it and would ultimately acknowledge it. That's what Steffi expressed. Meanwhile, he expected to avoid her significant other's head. Getting ready to leave, Trust noticed that Elder had seen 10 toes. Steffi denied it had worked out. Trust made sense of that the hypotheses implied that Elder was battling. Steffi inferred that Minister expected to awaken and quit hauling Finn into it. Steffi said it was rude, and Elder was making it difficult for Finn to let it go. Steffi snarled, demanding Elder expected to stop. Trust calculated that Minister simply had to genuinely make a point to focus on it, and he'd return to himself. Steffi trusted it could happen that day and inquired as to whether Finn had expressed anything to Trust. Trust reluctantly said Finn's sentiments regarding Sheila were complicated and nuanced. Steffi said Finn's heart was simply too large, and she didn't need him getting involved with Elder's turned fantasy. In Eric's office, Brooke and Edge canoodled. He bet she hadn't missed him however much he'd missed her. She asked how his outing had been, and Edge showed her a dissemination bargain he'd landed. She got some information about Thomas and Douglas. Edge detailed that they were astounding and sent their adoration. Edge contemplated whether he'd missed anything while he'd been no more. Edge accepted a call, and Brooke streaked back to what R.J. had informed her regarding Luna and Zend, and she considered R.J., imploring her not to tell Edge. Edge's call finished, and he radiated about being home. He considered how R.J. was doing. Edge accepted one more call and presented Brooke's cooking to the guest. After the call, he asked what they'd been examining before Ted had called. Brooke got some information about Thomas and Douglas. Edge detailed that they were holding, however Douglas missed trust. Brooke answered that Trust was battling with it and with having a dad who would not trust Sheila's passing. Edge cried that Minister generally acted unusually and had never been there for Trust. Brooke was thankful Expectation had Edge as a mentor. Edge trusted Trust viewed it as such as well, and it had been for the best that Elder hadn't been around on the grounds that Minister got a kick out of the chance to stay nearby maniacs. Brooke shrugged, saying that Expectation and Elder could possibly modify their bond in the event that he could continue on and disregard Sheila. Afterward, Edge uncovered that he'd arranged a heartfelt night. They'd 2 or 3's back rubs and a connoisseur's supper, and afterward fortunate Brooke got to have him all to herself. Brooke answered that it had been no tomfoolery dozing without him, and she anticipated reconnecting and putting everything behind them. Edge streaked a look and got some information about Sheila. Brooke answered that Minister was declining to accept Sheila had died. Edge declared that the witch was dead, and Elder had seen her disintegrate. Brooke wished Minister would acknowledge it since it was negatively affecting Expectation. Edge said it was unjustifiable to Trust and Steffi, who shouldn't need to reconsider Sheila. The intense and the delightful recap and spoilers for Wednesday, April 24th demonstrate that Minister Sharp, Sean Cannon, discovers that Sugar, Kimberlyn Brown, was let out of jail 2 or 3 months prior. Steffi Forrester kisses John Finnegan, leather expert Novlin, before he leaves for work. Intense and the wonderful recap features. Trust Logan, Annika Noel, shows up and apologizes for Minister's remarks about Sheila Carter, Kimberlyn Brown. Zend Forrester, Delon Demetz, contemplates Luna Nozawa, Lisa Yamada. Carter Walton, Lawrence Holy Person Victor, intrudes. R.J. Forrester, Joshua Hoffman, searches out Luna. Carter Walton questions Zend Forrester. Carter tells Zend he can work at home in the event that he can't accumulate at work. Zend can't work where he and Luna rested together. Carter chastens Zend for laying down with Luna. Carter brings up that RJ double-crossed his family. He's wild about Luna still. Zend lets Carter know that he thought Luna needed to accompany him. Zend can't quit contemplating that evening. Zend says for him that evening was genuine. Carter finds it odd that Luna thought she was with RJ. Zend felt so near Luna until the following more. Carter inquired as to whether RJ comprehends. Zend inquires as to whether Carter would. Zend as RJ would be a nitwit not to pardon Luna. Luna Nozawa and RJ Forrester examine their future. Luna tells RJ that Trust needed Edge Forrester, Torsten K., to see some texture tests. Luna begins to leave and RJ stops her. RJ misses Luna. Luna tells RJ he doesn't need to say that. RJ needs to converse with somebody pretty much this and it's all off kilter now. RJ says this is bizarre on the grounds that it isn't them. Luna doesn't have the foggiest idea what to do about it. RJ doesn't by the same token. Luna has to know where things stand between them. RJ says each time he ponders that he sees Luna in Zend's arms and in his bed. RJ needs to move beyond this. RJ needs their life back. Luna misses RJ as well. Luna misses them being together. Luna is so upset for harming RJ. Luna needs to understand how they might fix this. Luna doesn't believe RJ should fail to remember the amount she cherishes him. RJ loves her as well and is never going to stop.